Have you ever noticed those signs at the gas station? You know, the ones with a little picture of a cell phone and a big red line through it. It feels a bit like a rule from a different era, right? I mean, we use our phones for everything, from paying for our coffee to navigating our entire lives. So why is the gas station, of all places, a phone-free zone? Most of us probably think it's because of a fire hazard. We've all heard the stories or seen the movie scenes where a ringing phone sparks an explosion at the pump. It sounds plausible, right? A tiny spark from the phone's electronics, a cloud of gasoline vapor, and boom. It's a dramatic and scary thought. But is it actually true? Well, the answer is not really. Let's dive into the science. For a fire to start, you need three things: fuel, which we have plenty of in the form of gasoline vapor; oxygen, which is all around us in the air; and an ignition source, like a spark or extreme heat. The myth is that your cell phone provides that ignition source. But here's the thing: modern smartphones are incredibly well engineered. The amount of electrical energy they use is tiny, and it's all sealed up tight inside the case. Numerous studies and experiments have tried to make a cell phone ignite gasoline vapor. The popular show Mythbusters even tackled this one. They put a phone inside a chamber filled with a perfect air-fuel mixture and made it ring, text, and do everything else a phone does. The result? Nothing. Not even a tiny spark. They had to practically short-circuit the battery with exposed wires to get any kind of ignition. The Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, in the United States has also looked into this. They've stated there's no evidence linking phone use to fires at gas stations. Same story from petroleum industry experts. They all agree that the risk of a phone's normal operation causing a spark strong enough to ignite gasoline vapor is practically zero. So, if our phones aren't going to blow us up, why are the warning signs still there? The real reason is much less explosive and a lot more human. The biggest danger at a gas station isn't a tiny spark from your phone. It's you, me, all of us, being distracted. Think about it. You're surrounded by multi-ton metal machines moving around. You're handling a flammable liquid. There are other drivers, pedestrians, and station attendants. It's a surprisingly busy and potentially hazardous environment. Now, add a cell phone to that mix. You're scrolling through social media, answering an urgent work email, or deep in a conversation. Your attention is divided. You might not notice that the pump hasn't clicked off and gasoline is starting to overflow. You might not see the car backing up behind you. You might forget to put the nozzle back and just drive off, which, yes, actually happens and can cause major damage and spills. Distraction is the real enemy here. The signs are less about preventing an explosion and more about preventing an accident caused by inattention. It's the same reason we're told not to text and drive. When your mind is on your screen, it's not on the task at hand. And at a gas station, the task at hand requires your full attention for the few minutes you're there. But wait, there's another potential culprit we need to talk about, and it's a much more likely source of a spark: static electricity. Have you ever gotten a little shock when you touched a doorknob after walking across a carpet? That's static electricity. It can build up on your body, especially in dry weather. And that little spark is more than enough to ignite gasoline fumes. This is a proven, documented cause of gas station fires. The most common scenario happens when someone starts the pump, then gets back into their car to wait. As they slide across the car seat, friction builds up a static charge on their body. Then, when the pump clicks off, they get out and reach for the metal nozzle without first discharging that static. Zap! That's when the spark can happen, right where the gasoline vapors are most concentrated. This is a far greater risk than anything your phone could produce. To prevent this, safety experts recommend that once you get out of your car to refuel, you stay outside the vehicle. If you absolutely must get back in, make sure you touch a metal part of your car door with your bare hand before you touch the pump nozzle again. This will safely discharge any static buildup. It's a simple step that makes a huge difference. So, the whole phone myth likely got started by lumping all electronic devices together and mixing it up with the very real danger of static electricity. The stories just grew from there. It's an urban legend that has stuck around because it sounds just scary enough to be believable. Now, let's talk about the modern twist to this story: paying with your phone. Many gas stations now actively encourage you to use their mobile apps to pay right at the pump. It's convenient, it's fast, and it uses your phone. This seems like a complete contradiction, doesn't it? If phones are so dangerous, why are we being told to use them for payment? Well, this just reinforces the point that the danger isn't the phone itself. The companies that design these payment systems know the technology is safe. Their main concern is still distraction. When you use a payment app, you're typically focused on a single, quick task. Open the app, select your pump number, authorize the payment, and put the phone away. The whole process takes a few seconds. This is very different from having a long, involved phone call or getting lost in a video while the fuel is pumping. The risk of distraction is minimized. It's a controlled, brief interaction. The gas companies are essentially saying, okay, we know you have your phone, so let's use it for this one specific task, and then please put it away and pay attention to what you're doing. They are trying to manage the risk in a world where phones are unavoidable. So, to sum it all up, can your cell phone cause a fiery explosion at the gas station? The science says it's extremely, almost impossibly, unlikely. The real, documented danger comes from static electricity. The reason the warning signs persist is to combat a much more common problem: human distraction. A distracted person is an unsafe person, especially when handling flammable liquids in a busy area. Next time you pull up to the pump, you don't need to be terrified of your phone. But it's still a really good idea to follow the rules. Put your phone away, stay focused on fueling, and be aware of your surroundings. And if you get back in your car while the tank is filling, remember to touch the metal on your car frame before grabbing the nozzle again. Stay safe, stay aware, and your trip to the gas station will be just a boring, normal, and thankfully non-explosive part of your day. Thanks for watching and thinking about this with me. If you found this interesting, hit that like button and subscribe for more myth-busting and curious questions answered. See you in the next one.